At ISKCON Crawley, in the association of devotees who have already given so much of their lives to the holy name. I was personally invited to ISKCON Crawley back around 2017 or so by one Mr. Mehul Parekh, Golokananda Prabhu. We became good friends as we were cooking together for our gurus in Sadhu Sangha in the US. I'm like, what is ISKCON Crawley? And he left, Prabhu, you left a very deep positive impression on our hearts just by being an ambassador of ISKCON Crawley. So I immediately looked up the center, of course, on the website. I was impressed by the beauty of the deities, the sincerity of the devotees, and the effort that all of you put into this program. And now my heart's wish is fulfilled. I'm here. And I can see why you are so excited about ISKCON Crawley. And that was almost 10 years ago. I'm especially thankful to His Grace Sham Govind Prabhu and Kaishori Mataji for inviting us as well. And of course our dear Shilen Prabhu for so kindly coordinating this visit. May the Lord bless you all with tremendous progress in Krishna consciousness. Today, I do not want to give a beginner's talk on why we should chant. We all know that. I want to speak to the place in the heart of the serious devotee where a more uncomfortable question lives. After so many years of chanting, why do I still approach Japa as if it's a duty to complete rather than a relationship to enter? Imagine that Krishna himself is waiting at the door of your heart every morning. The beads are in our hands. The mantra is on the tongue. But instead of opening the door, we stand outside counting how many times we knocked. That is the tragedy of mechanical, mindless japa. It's so close. The holy name is not merely a sound that we produce. The holy name is Krishna descending, Radha and Krishna, making themselves available in the most merciful form. So the purpose of this session is not to make us feel guilty. It's to help us become honest, hopeful, and practical. We'll identify some bad japa habits, understand why they survive, and then replace them with living habits that allow the name to gradually reclaim the mind, soften the heart, and awaken dependence on mercy. So let us begin with a painful truth. But let us hold it gently. Many of us have developed the ability to finish our rounds without fully meeting the person, the holy name. We can chant while planning. We can chant while worrying, scrolling internally, reviewing old conversations, managing tomorrow's problems, or silently judging ourselves for not being attentive. The external practice continues, but the inner connection becomes thin. This is why progressive, long-time devotees often feel stuck. It is not that we don't know the philosophy. It's not that we don't believe in the holy name. Often the problem is that we have normalized a divided form of chanting. One part of us chants, and another part of us lives elsewhere. So the first step in our transformation is not dramatic emotion, it is honesty. I have to admit, my hand may be on the bead, my tongue may be moving, but where is my ear? Where is my attention? Where is my heart? Srila Prabhupada gave us the most merciful process. But he also taught us the essential discipline. What did he say? Hear the sound. Not think about hearing. Not perform an image of hearing. Actually hear. So today, we want to move from automatic completion to conscious contact. Yes, counting is necessary, but counting is the servant. It's not the goal. Contact is the goal, not the counting. Of course, we have to count. So bad japa habits are like vines around the beads. See these vines? If you look closely, you'll see them. After a while, it gets a little easier to see. They do not appear usually in one day. And they do not disappear simply because we're ashamed of them. In fact, shame often makes them stronger. A devotee thinks, I should be better than this. And because that thought is painful, the mind runs away again. So we need a more intelligent approach. What is that? We identify the habit without hating ourselves. Mechanical speed is one habit. The hidden goal becomes finishing, not hearing. Another one is divided attention. That's another. The mouth chants, but the mind multitasks. It's not easy to focus, right? And the third one is vague guilt. Vague guilt is the third. We feel bad after japa. But we make no specific change before tomorrow's japa. Devotional isolation is another. We struggle alone and never invite help. And then for long-time devotees, there is a subtle one. Performance identity. We may think, see, I've been chanting for so many years. I lead kirtan, I give class, I'm known as a long-time devotee. But the holy name is not impressed by a spiritual CV. It's almost like we've bluffed our way through a spiritual resume. The name responds to humility. The name responds to attention, longing, dependence, and service mood. These never go old. So unlearning begins when I stop defending my current chanting and allow Krishna to teach me how to chant again. To make this practical, I want to use the framework I often call the 4 gates of living japa. Japa is not one habit. It is a sacred ecosystem. If the body is chaotic, our mind becomes difficult. If the mind is untrained, the heart remains inaccessible. And if the heart is dry, then this concept of surrender feels theoretical. If surrender is absent, we begin to believe that attentive chanting is achieved only by our effort. So we have to align all the gates. The first gate is body and sound. Posture, sit properly. Breath, balance. Clarity, pronunciation, volume, pace, the physical environment, and the simple discipline of hearing. That's the first gate. Second gate is the mind and intellect, or intelligence. How we relate to distractions. How we use scriptural understanding. And how we bring intelligence back to the mantra. And third gate is heart and emotion. Gratitude, remorse, affection, longing, appreciation for devotees, prayerfulness, personal relationship. These are heartfelt feelings. That's the third gate. And the fourth gate is surrender and mercy. The realization that good japa is not conquered, or you can't master it. It is received. These gates help us avoid vague resolutions. Instead of saying, I must chant better, we ask, which gate is weak today? See, it's much more precise. Which habit can I practice tomorrow morning? This makes transformation concrete, humble, hopeful, specific. Our rascaldom hides behind vagueness. When we're specific, rascaldom has nowhere to go. And we all have a little rascal in us, that wants to pretend to be devotee. You know, have you heard this fear of failure? People are afraid of failing. That's not our problem. Our problem is fear of success. Our mind is actually afraid we'll succeed in spiritual life and all the mind's plans will be thrown in the trash. That's what we're afraid of. Success in spiritual life is not that difficult, but our mind is holding us back because it has its own plans. The materially conditioned, selfish mind. That's what we're targeting. Slide 5. The first gate is body and sound. This may sound basic, but advanced devotees or long-time devotees often neglect basics simply because they're basic. Yet basics are not elementary. Basics are foundational. Before chanting, sit before you start. Let the body announce to the mind, we are entering sacred time. If the body is collapsed, or restless, or half asleep, the mind takes permission to wander. And body language is also language. It tells you something, it tells someone else something. Then choose a pace you can actually hear. Some devotees chant fast because they're inspired. Others chant fast because they're escaping. The test is simple. Can I hear each mantra? Open the mouth enough so the mantra has dignity. Mantra needs dignity also. The holy name should not be treated like a private mumble we're trying to get through. Then use a practical anchor. This is what I use. On every bead, give special attention to the first Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The first Hare, that's right, the first Hare, correct, is like opening the door again for Krishna, because it brings the mind back. See? When you drift, don't create a second distraction by becoming dramatic. Oh, why did you drift? No, that's another distraction now. Just return. That's it. Simply return. Don't make more drama than needs to be. The habit that we want to develop is not never drifting. The habit we want to develop is returning quickly, quietly, gently, and repeatedly. That is living japa. Because every act of returning your mind back to that first Hare is an act of bhakti. It's like offering a flower to Krishna. Oh, I wandered, sorry. Coming back, Hare Krishna. This is a flower unto you, my Lord. That's it. Has anyone here heard Srila Prabhupada's Japa recording? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yes, you've all heard it? The full tape. In that recording, Prabhupada pauses his Japa to give a very important instruction. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Say it properly. Jai Prabhupada. If it wasn't important, he would not interrupt his Japa. Think about that. Say it properly means what? What does it properly mean to you? Anyone? Back straight. Back straight, that's the most important. Focus, yes, sit properly, focus, yes, help you focus. If you're sleeping, wake up, that's right, don't bend over, don't keep your head like this, or slump over, or don't look around, don't shake your legs.
Don't stretch your legs.
Don't stretch your legs. Yeah, it's not, yeah. Stretch your legs before you sit. Then you can sit properly. Do stretching. Stretching is good, not during the japa. Why is that important? If someone comes to your house, more than your words, your body language tells them everything. If someone comes to my house, he hasn't come in 3 years, and he thinks I'm his best friend. And he's been telling everybody, today I'm going to go to my best friend's house. I haven't seen him in 3 years. We were such good pals in college, and oh man. And he comes in, I'm not even looking at him, looking elsewhere on my phone. I'm saying, welcome, have a seat, everything, but I don't even look at him. But I say, welcome, open the door. That's what we're doing. The body tells him something else, that I'm not interested. You may think you're my best friend. I'm not your best friend. It's actually pretty rude. I mean, his heart will be broken by my body language, not my words. We are telling Krishna how much we're interested in by our body language. That's why Prabhupada said, sit properly. Because Krishna is coming to you, you're calling him. Hare means, my dear Radhe, come. Please come into my heart. Please come into my life. Please come into my consciousness. So, sit properly is very important. The second gate is the mind and intelligence. The mind is not evil. Does Krishna say the mind is evil? No. It is the best friend and worst enemy, but it's not evil. It is untrained. It is overfed. You know what I mean by that? And the mind is used to being obeyed, not obeying. During Japa, the mind will bring us offerings, plans, fears, fantasies, what you do with all the money you get, memories, complaints, arguments, discussions with mother-in-law. That's heavy. Even sometimes very important devotional projects. But even devotional thoughts can become distraction if they replace the hearing. Yeah? Let me think devotional thought. No. Here, a simple tool to help is to label the distraction. First label it. You see planning coming? Planning. No. Memories? No memory. Fear? No. Fantasy? Resentment? My future? Label it, put the sticker on it, and then come back to the sound with your mind. The label creates the distance that you need from the thing. We don't have to argue with every thought and wrestle it. We don't have to contemplate every mental storyline. Simply acknowledge and return. Also use the meaning of the mantra lightly. Hare. O energy of Krishna. Srimati Radharani, please engage me in Krishna's service. O Krishna, O all attractive Lord. O Rama, O reservoir of all pleasure. But do that lightly before the japa. Do not turn the japa session also into a philosophical lecture inside your head. Yeah, even that. I think that's good, no? No. The meaning should bring us back to the sound. The focus is the sound. It should take us back to the sound, not away from it. The sound is Krishna, not the mental exercises. The ear must become the leader. And then the mind has to learn to follow the ear. Let us be brave enough to value quality. One honest, clean round can change the atmosphere of the whole morning completely. Notice it. One, even half a focused round, you will feel so much better. The third gate is the heart. Many sincere devotees say, I chant, but I feel dry. Dryness is not failure. Dryness is information, is feedback. It tells us that the heart has not yet been invited into the practice. Before japa, take 1 minute for gratitude. Not general gratitude, but specific gratitude. Krishna, thank you that I have beads. Thank you that Srila Prabhupada crossed the ocean. Thank you that I have the association of devotees. Thank you that despite my disqualification, you still allow me to chant your names, my Lord. Then name one mercy you do not deserve. Something specific. This melts our sense of entitlement. You know what's entitlement? Entitlement means I deserve this. No, we don't deserve anything. Then admit one place where you need rescue. Krishna, I'm still proud. Krishna, I'm still distracted. I'm still attached to being praised. I'm still wounded by this relationship. Please let your name enter there. This is not sentimentalism. This is devotional honesty. See, this is the heart. The holy name is not merely a technique for attention. The holy name is the shelter of our heart. Chant as a child calling, not a professional performing. When we bring genuine gratitude, even remorse, sense of longing and affection, then the mantra gradually moves from the lips to the heart. That was the third gate. Anybody remember the fourth gate?
Surrender and mercy.
That's right, surrender and mercy. The fourth gate is surrender and mercy. This is where advanced devotees must become beginners again. We make effort, but we do not own the result. Good japa is practiced by effort, but is born of mercy. My effort prepares the altar, but mercy reveals the deity. This gate is important. It's what I call disciplined helplessness. So there are two extremes. One extreme is laziness. Krishna will do everything, I don't need to do anything. So I don't need discipline. The other extreme is pride. If I perfect my technique, I will conquer the holy name. Both are wrong. Dependence is not laziness. It is truthfulness. Before the first beat, pray. Srila Prabhupada, please allow me to chant in a way that pleases you. My dear Lord, I have no qualifications. Srimati Radharani, you are Hara. The energy of the Lord. Please steal my mind from nonsense and engage it in Krishna's service. Offer each round. This round is not mine. It is an offering. Even if it is broken, offer it with hope. Because the holy name is a person. We approach a person through respect, through sincerity, relationship, and mercy. Now we turn from principles to real life, practical life. A bad habit says what? I chant when life allows me to chant. A good habit says, I arrange my life around the holy name. It's different. For most householders and temple leaders and parents and working devotees. Life is genuinely demanding. So this is not about imitation or guilt. It's about protection. Protect the first serious japa window of the day. Protect it fiercely. Even if all 16 cannot happen in that early morning, protect the first meaningful portion fiercely. Then, remove one recurring distraction before tomorrow. One. Not 10, one. Don't try to make all the improvements on first day. Your mind is too conditioned. It's not 10, one. Phone in another room. That's it. That's one improvement I'm going to do today. Earlier bedtime tomorrow. Because tonight we're going to hang out a little longer. Beads ready. Water ready. Shawl ready. What is a shawl for? Cover your head. You focus better. The night before japa is part of your japa. It's not separate. Keep a small japa notebook. After chanting, write down one observation with one adjustment. I observed this, make this one adjustment. For example, I became distracted after round number 4. Adjustment, tomorrow I will stand and chant round number 5 aloud. Observation, I rushed the last 3 rounds. Adjustment, I will start 15 minutes earlier. Walking japa can be powerful too, if it's intentional. But it can also become wandering japa, because our walking is kind of wandering sometimes. The key is consciousness. And of course, one strong rule is don't mix japa with phone or inbox or social media. The phone trains the mind to fragment. Japa trains the mind to gather and focus. It's opposite. They cannot both lead. It's one or the other. Here is a simple 7-day reset. You get your ginger water, get your beads. This is intentionally modest, okay? Because sustainable change usually comes through small daily corrections. Day 1, posture and clear sound. Don't change everything. Just sit properly and let the mantra be audible. That's it. That's for day 1. That's it, the whole 16 rounds. Day 2, learn to use the first Hare in the anchor, as an anchor. First Hare. Help it bring the mind out. Every bead begins again. Your whole round is not a blur. Every bead is a unique, discrete offering, ahuti in the yajna. You know, Krishna says, of all the fishes, I am the shark. Of all the of immovable things, I am the
mountain.
Yeah, which one? Himalayas. And of all the yajnas, I am
Chanting.
more specific.
Japa.
Yes. All yajnas, I am japa. Yajnanam japa was me. So that's ahuti. Each bead is one oblation into the yajna. Day 3, label your distractions. Learn how to do that. Planning, memories, fear, fantasies. Then return. Label, return. It's very powerful. You might think you can't control the mind. Mind doesn't stand a chance against these stickers. More difficult than controlling the wind. Yeah, but take out your sticker label, then it's gone. Oh, your fear, step aside. Okay. Day 4. 1 minute gratitude before you chant. So pick up your beats, but don't chant. Take a full minute and express, Krishna, today I'm so thankful for this chants that I'm able to chant. Day 5. Prayer before bead 1. Prayer is different from gratitude. Pray to the Lord, please accept me, my Lord. Ask him something specific. Don't wait until you fail to ask for help. Day 6. 1 clean round. Are we there? Okay, good. 1 clean round. Choose 1 round where the goal is to hear. If distraction comes, return. Not 16. 1 clean round. This one is going to be super clean. Golden round. Then you can make it 2 golden rounds after a few weeks. You don't overwhelm yourself with too many things. You'll never do any of them then. After learning all these things, you'll say none of them work because you tried all of them at the same time. Do a little bit at a time and feel the strength, okay? Don't do weight training and lift the heaviest thing first. Day 7. Review and recommit. Ask, which of these things helped really? What pattern is clear? What one habit will I carry forward and make it like a knee-jerk reaction, a muscle memory? This is how a new devotional identity forms, and you'll never settle for poor quality japa again. Not by grand declarations, but by repeated sacred choices. Don't try to become a perfect chanter tomorrow, but become a more honest chanter tomorrow. Perfectionism often comes just as another ego project. Honesty invites mercy. A serious devotee does not need a dramatic new life. Often what we need is small, protected, repeated opening through which the holy name can enter more deeply. Okay. Good japa is personal, but it's not meant to be isolated. You are fortunate here, you have a community. That's something to be grateful for. That's another thing you should be grateful for is ISKCON Crawley. You have an ISKCON community here. The holy name flourishes in a culture of shared aspiration. We need association not only for philosophy and service, no, but also for the private struggle of attention. Find one japa partner that you can open up to, or a small circle that you can discuss these things with. Not for showing off, not for comparing, not for subtle competition, for sharing, share adjustments. I'm trying to keep my phone away. I'm trying 1 minute of gratitude. I'm trying to slow down. Ask senior devotees and for practical diagnosis. Sometimes a senior devotee can hear in 2 minutes what we have missed for 2 years. Like you sit with them. I'm going to chant, you watch me. And they'll tell you, your pace is too fast. Half the things you're just gobbling up. Urdu mantra khai jaye cha. Half the things you're gobbling up. Or you're chanting too softly. Or you're tired because you sleep too late. And someone who knows you can tell you you're carrying unresolved resentment into your own japa. Or you're trying to control the mind without softening your heart. You can see how complex the whole thing is, isn't it? Also, celebrate the right things. Not merely speed, not merely image. Celebrate attention. Today I could give attention. It's a party. Today I could give attention to 4 beads. Not 4 rounds, 4 beads. You should have some ice cream to treat yourself. Celebrate humility. I'm telling you, do 4 beads of fully attentive chanting, you will feel so refreshed. Like, what have I been doing my whole life? Celebrate returning after distraction. Celebrate the devotee who quietly protects the morning. A temple community becomes spiritually powerful when your culture says, before we manage everything for Krishna, first try to hear Krishna's names with sincerity. That's the power of community. I want to end with gratitude. Thank you to the devotees of ISKCON Crawley for maintaining Srila Prabhupada's divine mission right here, for chanting, for serving, for cooking, cleaning, teaching children, welcoming guests, supporting each other, and keeping the holy name present in this part of the world. Thank you to Srila Prabhupada, who did not give us vague spirituality. He placed the beads in our hands, the Mahamantra on our tongues, and a daily appointment with Krishna in our lives. What an astonishing mercy. Thank you to Lord Nityananda Mahajan, who's dancing there in the moonlight. How he endlessly gives us inspiration to chant the name of Gauranga, to chant the name of Krishna. We may have chanted imperfectly for years, but the holy name has not rejected us. Every morning the name returns to our tongue. Every bead is Krishna saying, what? Come back once more. So let us not leave this class with a sense of guilt. Let's leave with the sankalpa. Sankalpa. Sankalpa means a promise to ourselves. I will not merely finish my rounds. I will seek shelter of the holy name. I will sit a little more consciously. I will hear a little more carefully. I'll return a little more quickly. I will pray a little more honestly. And when I fail, I will not run away in shame. I'll come back to the bead. I'll come back to the sound. Come back to Srila Prabhupada's mercy. Come back to Radha and Krishna. So may the holy name become our refuge, our teacher, our purifier, our companion, and finally, our home. Thank you very much for your valuable time and your kind attention. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. Hari Bol. If anyone has any questions or comments or something, yes, please, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the class and thank you for coming for driving 5 hours to come to Puri. My question is, sometimes we have made offenses to others, it severely impacts our spiritual life, and it can have quite a bad impact on our Japa as well. How can we be free from the offenses when we don't know who we have offended or how we've offended them? And further to that, how can we be free from the offense if the person who's offended doesn't forgive?
Yeah, it's an important question. How can we make progress in our japa practice if we have made an offense to a devotee, and in particular if the devotee has not forgiven us? This is the classic question of Vaishnava aparad. How do we resolve Vaishnava aparad or Vaishnava offenses? What is the analogy that's given for Vaishnava aparad? Yes. Mad elephant. Mad elephant. Then we know the verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's very specific, it's very graphic. It says, Yadi Vaishnava aparade uthe hati mata, upadeva chinde, tar sukhi jai pata. That's the actual verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita. That if upon performing or committing an offense to a devotee, the mad elephant comes up. Upadeva chinde, tar sukhi jai pata. The elephant uproots the delicate creeper of our devotional life, stamps on it. Upade, uproots. Chinde, chundi kade, right? Chinde, tar sukhi jai pata, and the leaves get dried out. Pretty graphic. So yes, the offense to Vaishnava can have far-reaching consequences for spiritual life. We have to understand one thing. Yes, there are grades of offenses, gradations. What is Vaishnava aparad? If I'm holding a pot of soup and I'm running and then I step on your foot by mistake and I forgot to tell you sorry. It's sort of an offense, not really, But if for 2 years you keep remembering, don't talk to me because of that, and I'm wondering what happened to him, Yes, I'm partly at fault because I should have been more careful, I should have at least, but I didn't even realize it, I thought it's not a big deal. That's a minor offense. A real offense is when it sprouts from a place of deep envy and malicious intent. That's the kind of what we call mad elephant offense. Not that I brushed against you in the crowd or dancing and stepped on your toe. I should still apologize. It's still somewhat offensive. It's not all offenses at the same level. Something to keep in mind, so you're not completely freaking out about all the different offenses, right? If we do find that we have malicious intent in our heart, that needs to be valued right away. Otherwise, there's no hope for us. You see? Second, when we offer obeisances in the morning, right? What do we say? To all the devotees. And we should make a sankalpa in our mind that all the devotees, past, present, and future, let me offer obeisances to all of them. And I pray to the Lord to, if they If I've made any offenses, inspire them to forgive me and purify my own attention. So we have to make sure, if we know we have committed an offense, we should ask forgiveness genuinely, sincerely, honestly, with a full good faith attempt to correct and never do that again as far as possible. If we have done that part, then it is that devotee has to forgive you. And if he or she doesn't forgive, then you've done your part and you remain humble. Ambarish Maharaj's story, Ambarish Maharaj immediately forgave, no matter how severe that was. That's the nature of devotees. So we should be quick to forgive us, if somebody does something to us, and pray that we are forgiven also. And we should make our full. So that's the whole different thing, but it's related to this for sure. I'm not saying so. It's very much related because it affects our chanting. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Bhakti dure kotha. This whole bhakti you're doing is a very distant goal. First, escape from offenses. First priority. In other words, what does that mean to escape from offenses? It means to escape from a mentality that breeds offenses. A sense of habits of gossiping, criticizing. And this gossip is allowed. Small cracks of allowable tiny offenses that we normalize will become gateway drugs to much heavier, severely offensive mindset. And all it takes the one or two persons to lead the charge in that, and the entire pot becomes poisoned. So it's important for all of us as a community, especially as leaders, to keep a watchful eye out on things like unacceptable gossip and patterns, because that leads to offenses, and it creates a community where it becomes intolerable and you have nowhere else to go because there's no other devotees in Crawley. So it's important for us. It's a good point. It's related to quality of chanting, quality of our community and our devotional service. So we should be on guard for our own offenses, especially offensive trends and mentalities. That's really what matters. Minor things are the things we have to watch out for. And we should train ourselves in Vaishnava etiquette. We should make sure that we learn Vaishnava etiquette, and the standard courses on that. There's a whole website called VaishnavaEtiquette.com put together by Bhakti Charan Maharaj. You can just look it up because it's a whole encyclopedia of Vaishnava etiquette. Teach a course with everybody again and again. This way, things that we think are okay turns out to be not okay. And then, okay, thank God I know. So education, understanding if somebody made a mistake, it's okay. Give them lots of love and care and affection. Don't be judgmental. That's a few things I can offer, Prabhu. Yes? Hare Krishna. All right, anybody else have any questions on Japa or something? Yes, young devotee back there. What's your name?
Jayan.
Sorry?
Jayan.
Jayan.
When I do Japa, I do it in my head, not out loud, because my throat gets sore and makes me lose focus.
Yeah, you should see somebody about that.
Is that a good or bad thing?
Yeah, so, good question, Jayan. Chanting is supposed to be done softly, gently, gently enough that you're not hurting your throat. Also find out what's going on in there. In other words, show it to someone. Like when I'm speaking regular stuff, my throat doesn't hurt. When I'm chanting, it hurts. So that's something worth looking into. Maybe not drinking water or something. So, there's a few things you can try, because what you want to do in Krishna consciousness, you only have one thing to do in Krishna consciousness. You have to prove to Krishna you're interested in Krishna. That's all. That's all we have to prove to Krishna. That Krishna, my Lord, I'm interested in you. How are you? How am I interested? Well, there's different ways. Like, will you do everything in your power to find out what's going on with your throat? You do everything in your power to chant better. We know we should chant not just in the head, we should chant with the voice. It's okay to chant gently. Don't be harsh on your throat. If I chanted very harshly, my throat would hurt as well. And sometimes the throat is genuinely hurting, like sometimes I have a sore throat and I've lost my voice. You can whisper around, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. if you have a sore throat. The important part is hearing. You cannot hear what's in your head. The ear has to be involved. So you have to figure out how to make that work. You pray to the Lord that, my Lord, I am interested. You please help me. And so then these kind of things will resolve themselves. And as you grow up, sometimes we tend to grow out of things. Like I used to, when I was young, your age, I used to have very severe asthma, like breathing problems when I was your age. But I grew out of it. In other words, when your body grows, it gets stronger. Certain issues will disappear on their own. They may or they may not. I'm just saying different things, but by practice and being gentle and maybe gargling with warm salty water before and things like that. That's what singers do. Singers train their vocal cords. So, because singers have to sing for many hours in a day and it hurts their throat too. So they find different techniques to make that work. So if you can prove to Krishna you're interested, Krishna will help you. Oh, here's Jan is interested, finally. I'm going to help him. And you'll see Krishna will reciprocate. He will. You'll see his hand in your life, throughout your life. Right, Jan? Hare Krishna. Great question. Yes, Prabhu. No, yeah. Yes.
That's fine, you can hear me anyway. Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for giving this incredible class. I heard a few devotees say that they actually keep a notebook next to them, because you know when you said you label some ideas?
Yes.
Would you recommend that necessarily? So, for example, with the management, if you ever think of any like good ideas, it's out of mind, out of sight, that sort of thing, and then...
Yes, highly recommend it to make a note, because otherwise what happens, your mind will not let you go. Like, oh, if I let this go, I might forget it. Like, it's a good idea. Like yesterday, I was in an argument with a devotee, and I just figured out what to tell him so that he feels really bad. But if I don't think about it, keep thinking about it, I'll forget it. Let me write down. When you write it down, oh, this actually, I shouldn't say this. Oh, forget it. You scratch it out. You process it. Or something good. And that's the bad thing. But 3 kilograms of potatoes today. Let me write it down. I need 3 kilograms of potatoes. I might forget. So write it down. For sure. And then your mind has peace. This is a very useful thing. I do it too, by the way. I take a break. I'll tell you something. I used to watch the little kids, like 4-year-old, they're chanting in the temple early in the morning. A long time ago I saw them. So one kid's like, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare. And he pauses. He's like, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And then I asked him, why do you keep pausing like after every minute or two? He said, no, when I'm thinking I pause. See, we have become so expert, we can think and chant. And that's our downfall. That kid is doing it right. We are doing it wrong. He's taking a break to do his thinking. It's like, in America, I don't know, you probably have that here. Maybe not. In America, there's highways, right? And some of the very longer highways, they have this little pull-out. And it says, texting pull-out. Where if you want to send a text to somebody, you pull over, you stop driving, you pull into this parking space, you do your texting, and then you can continue driving. Similarly, what you could do is, okay, I have to think a whole bunch of things. Pull over. Don't continue chanting. Don't continue writing and driving. Pull over. Make your notes. Send your texts. Take a break. Take this opportunity to say a little prayer. My Lord, please bless me that I can chant your name better. I'm counting on you. I know my whole life I've not really shown much interest in you. Probably most of my previous lives as well, but not really serious. It's very powerful. Take a break. Write it down. Excellent suggestion. Thank you. Okay. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming all the way down. I promise it's not usually 5 hours. There was a point you said, which I didn't understand. You said, use meaning lightly of Krishna, or energy of Krishna.
Yeah.
I didn't understand the point lightly.
Yes, this we cover in more depth. But the idea I was trying to convey, and I conveyed a little bit later than that, is that we don't want this. I think it was in the mind section over here. Yeah. Is that we don't want to turn our japa into a philosophical lecture, class. I say use lightly means quickly remind yourself Krishna is here. That's a light reminder. Not that, they start quoting verses and then who said what, and before you know it, you're giving yourself a long lecture while you're still doing japa. But then you have derailed your own focus on the sound. Because Krishna is personally here. Imagine Krishna walks into this door and he's smiling, radiant, with his flute in his hand. And then you are now, instead of bowing down to him and having a conversation, you're closing your eyes and saying, quoting Shastra, Vadanti tat tattva vidas, there's three, aspects of the absolute truth, impersonal, and he's right here, he's asking for a barfi, okay? Right? And you understand what I'm saying? The opportunity that Krishna is present in his sound is so valuable, and you have to embrace that sound because he's Krishna himself. Yes, we should train our intelligence prior to the fact so we know what we're doing when we chant. We should know that Krishna is his name. Abhinatva nama namino, those verses you should quote before you chant so your mind is strongly understanding where we are headed. But once you're embracing the sound, then don't add layers to your chanting where you think your mind's layers have to be engaged. Engage all of them in embracing the sound. That's important.
So focus on the name and the sound rather than the meaning.
Rather than anything else, yes. Yeah. Now, to add to that, there's a heartfelt dimension too. When we talk about the third gate, which is the heart, this is the second gate, which is the mind, right? Gate 2. This side. The heart is where before you chant, you get into a mood because you're always in a mood. Everybody's always in some mood, right? I'm in peaceful mood, I'm angry mood, I'm loving mood, I'm feeling fearful. These are different moods. We're always in some mood or another. Even when you're chanting. Even when you're chanting with focus on sound, the mood will prevail your consciousness, emotion space. The emotional space, the brain space, right? So your mind and intellect has embraced the sound, but the emotion is still ringing about what mother-in-law told you 2 years ago. Right? Like, I can never forget that. So we have to shift the mood. That's where this gate 3 comes in, where we say, first you say a prayer of gratitude. That shifts your mood and changes the color of the light in the room of your heart. Change the color to gratitude. Or even to remorse. Remorse is a good one. It's a mood. You see, our acharyas teach us that in their bhajans. So many of their bhajans are remorseful. My Lord, I wasted my life. Hari Hari Bifela Janama Gavayu. Manusha Janama Paya. Radha Krishna Na Bhujya. Janiya Shunya Vishkaya. I wasted my whole life. I got this human form of life. It's a remorseful mood. You carry that mood with chanting. Then you chant. It's powerful. But it's not a philosophical wrestling match. It's not even a visualization opportunity. Let me visualize Krishna's pastime. No, the mind is not supposed to be engaged in doing other layers of things. Use every layer of your mind to focus on Krishna's name. That shows you're interested. It shows you understand he's here. Exclusivity, nothing else. Only Krishna. When Krishna is here, focus on that. No? Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Just so wonderful. I feel like closing down the M25 so you can't go back. You have to stay there for a few more days. That was genuinely so nice. I'm sure everyone else feels like that. And this might be a stupid question, but I'll ask it anyway. Has it always been these reflections that you've had? Has it always been like this for you, or was there a particular turning point where the penny dropped that I need to change something? Because I guess for many people that may have had bad chanting habits for many years, it can be quite a difficult prospect to change something that people have been doing for so many years. So could you share if there was a particular point where you had that realization, if that was the case?
Yeah. I think it's a good question. So, it's several points in my life where quite a few pennies have dropped. But I have to credit a big chunk of it to reading the books of my spiritual master, His Holiness Satsang Goswami Maharaj. He wrote a book in 1984, 83, around that time, Japa Reform Notebook, which is way ahead of its time for that time. In fact, when he wrote it, some other devotees criticized him. Why are you writing this? Everybody knows how to do Japa. Don't make a big deal of Japa. What's the big deal? Why are you making a whole book on it? And now we all know how important it is to get into the science of it. So he was way ahead of us. So when I read that, I'm like, wow, the fact that a guru in our movement took out so much time to really analyze this means, even without reading all the chapters, just seeing the sheer number of chapters on this one subject means it's important. And so that moved my heart to pay serious attention to this. Second, we see Prabhupada has said many places that this japa is like the most important thing for a spiritual life. It's your main connection. When we take initiation, we don't say, I vow to distribute 16 books every day. No, although that's important to do. What do we vow? 16 rounds of japa. You should distribute books. You should not say, I vow to eat 16 cups of halwa every day. No, 16 rounds of japa, although eating halwa is good. Prasadam, for distributing. Don't eat all 16 cups. You should distribute them. So the japa is so important. So that in itself was an eye-opener. And so that book, and then later on in around 1992 or so, he wrote another book, maybe 93, called Begging for the Nectar of the Holy Name. And that book was also quite life-changing. So that's this one. Oops. This is Begging for the Nectar of the Holy Name. That is my dear senior sister, God sister, Damodar Rati Mataji. And she has a few books if you're interested, but this one was a life changer for me. Because now in the Japa Reform Notebook, right, what he did was he gave it from a point of view of an instructor. This is how you do japa, this is how you don't do, like a master. When as a spiritual master, that's what you do. But in this one, he goes straight to gate number 4, where you beg. You're no longer a master, now you're a beggar. My Lord, I'm a beggar. Gate 4. You see, the first 3 gates, you open the door yourself. Gate 4, the handle is on the other side. Only Krishna can open that gate 4. Gate 4 is you drop all your, I am master, I am this. You drop all your sense of entitlement, I deserve, I've done all this for you, Krishna, what have you done for me? You drop all that stuff completely. I'm beggar, I have nowhere else to go. I've given you everything. What is everything? I give you my body, sitting straight. I've given my mind, absorbing my mind in the holy name. I've given my heart, my love, my feelings. I know I don't love you. I can't claim to love you, Krishna, but I give you gratitude. That's the closest thing to love that I can honestly give you. You see, be honest. So when you've honestly given everything to Krishna, he responds in like. We cannot knock on gate 4 without going through giving him everything. We don't deserve to even knock on it. We can't even reach it. See, they're sequential. So when I learned about this 4 gates framework, now the true turning point, dramatic turning point in my life came in 2008 when I attended a seminar, an 8-day japa retreat by His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj, who is a Guru Maharaj of my dear wife. And he focused 2 whole days on each of the 4 gates. 2 whole days, like you start at 4 in the morning till 10 at night. Nothing else. And it was held in a retreat center where there's no cell signal and no Wi-Fi. Nothing. You have a phone, it's useless. It's amazing. The first 2 days, just sit up straight. That's it. Learn to sit up straight and chant with clarity. We do some stretching exercises so you can learn to sit up straight. It's amazing. And then the next 2 days, we had separate days set aside to do 64 rounds to apply the gate. You can imagine the impact it has. So when I came back home, it was so transformative. Like japa, before that, japa was something that came in the middle of way of my work and my day. After the really focusing on that retreat and everything, the day is something that came in the way of my japa. It changes everything. It gives you, it reprioritizes everything. So that's the big penny that dropped, I mean, when I came back from the retreat, my wife couldn't recognize my face. Like, what happened to you? Who did this to you? I need to talk to him. And then she ended up getting initiation from him. I need to go to Europe and find this Maharaj. She flew to Europe, literally. So my point is that when you have someone, or when you have the penny drops, you're right. It's a good, like reading something like this, or really taking it seriously. Like really take it seriously. Put aside everything else. Nothing else matters. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, in the 14 worlds, there's nothing else to be had than the holy name. It's not worth bothering our bandwidth. Yeah, we do a little bit of bandwidth to keep our body alive, to keep some dignity in society, get your kids in the right schools, all that. Yeah, do all that. That's not the main thing. The main thing is this. When your mind finally comes to the conclusion, the main thing is this, that's when you start transforming. That's when the penny drops. But each one of us has to find that day. We have to make it happen. It could be tomorrow. It could be tomorrow morning. Apply even one or two of these principles, and you see a difference, then you apply the rest of them, do the whole 7-day reset. You can watch this video on our YouTube, right? Yeah, just watch it on YouTube. You can read the transcript on it, copy paste the transcript, put it into AI, give me a summary of this thing. You can do so much these days, it's not a big deal, right? But apply it in your life is what I'm saying. That's when your penny will drop as well. Okay? Hare Krishna. All right, I think we've gone quite a bit over time. Thank you all once again. And I hope to get more of your kind association and blessings in the future. Srila Prabhupada ki.
His Grace Madan Gopal.